Hello, welcome to the full reading for What is Blocking You in Love. I had some technical difficulties with the TikTok. So I decided to just do it on YouTube. I was going to make an extended, but that's not what the universe wanted. So we're just going to do the full reading here on YouTube. I will reiterate just a little bit what the two piles said, just so, because we missed all of that. The video was literally silent. I was like, oh my god. So except for that little bit at the end and in the beginning. So if you're here from TikTok, this was pile 1. If you chose the woman holding a coin and all tied up, pile 1 was about if you were about your money. That was like the first pile option. You were focused on your career more. And the second pile option was this one with these 3 cards. And that was talking about just really seeing the good in everyone. And even if somebody shows you not their best side, you still kind of believe that it'll be okay and that they won't hurt you. So these are the 2 piles. If you feel drawn to both, that's totally fine. You can pick both if you want. You can watch both. Each is going to be about 15 minutes, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, let's start with pile 1. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Let me just move that. Sorry. Okay. Hello, pile 1. So these were your 2 cards. You had woman holding a coin and all tied up. So basically, I came to the conclusion that you are just really focused on your career right now. You really want to just get your money. I think that you have an idea of like, okay, well, I have to be my best self if I want to find love, like for love to come to me, which I absolutely love. It's very true. You need to have self-love. You need to like love your, and not just love yourself like physically either, but like love yourself mentally. So like making sure that like you do things that you want to do, not just because you're doing it for like outside purposes. Like you're following your hobbies and like you're in relationships with people that you want to be with, like your friends and stuff like that. You talk to your family members if that is something that is important to you. Like, you know, just really doing things for yourself is what matters. And then we have all tied up here. So it was just giving an energy of confusion. It's like you want love and you want to be in a relationship or at least like date and stuff. But it's like you're also just so focused on yourself that you're like, I don't even know. It's just like, I don't know. It just seems like there's like just a confusion around, do you even really want that? So we'll try to get down to the bottom of that today. Let me just light my other candles really quick. There's no light. So first, I just want to roll the dice to give you an angel number. What message is for pile 1? Okay, so we have 7, 1. Ooh, I think that's a 6. I never figured that out. It looks like a 6 to me. So 7, 1, 6. So just look up the angel number 716. I think there's going to be a message there for you. I usually don't do this, but I don't know. I felt it today, so that's why I'm doing it. So, yeah. So that's for you. So that's already your first message in there. And then this is just a little confirmation for maybe your zodiac sign or maybe somebody that you're dealing with at this time. If you are kind of dealing with love, but like just not really. So we have Gemini, which is interesting. And I feel like Geminis, you know, everybody gives them bad rap because they're quote unquote two-faced. But I think that's crazy, number one. I just think that it's just very much of an energy, like if they like you, they like you. And if they don't like you, they're not going to treat you the way that they would treat somebody that they like. Like, hello. Like, it's very much two personalities, which I think is better than somebody being fake. So, I mean, I don't know. But I do feel like with this coming out, I think it's interesting because I feel like you have these two energies. It's like you have this energy of really wanting to be a boss person. You want to do your own thing. You don't want to like focus on love. You really want to focus on yourself, etc. But then you also have this energy of like, but I do want to be in love and I do want to meet somebody. So I think that that's interesting that that came out. Okay, so I just want to grab a couple more energy cards just to see what outside influences are blocking me in love at this time. For my pile ones, please. What outside energies are contributing to the blockages outside of my pile one? Ooh. Thank you. Oh boy, I always drop cards. Okay, we have patience. And we have adjacent possibilities. So that's interesting. It seems more, I don't know. This is like an angel here on this on this card. Also, we have 42 and 24, which is mirrored numbers. So also look those numbers up as well. 24, 42. But yeah, it seems like you're confused. And it seems like maybe people are trying to tell you to be patient, or maybe this is like your angels trying to tell you to be patient and they're like causing the blockage on purpose. But I think it's because there's a different path that might be better, I guess, than the one that you're on currently, or like moving towards. So that's why there's blockages, and maybe that's why you're confused, because I mean she's tied up, so she can't move really. Like she's kind of stuck there. And I feel like with patience, like it's really just an energy of like stagnancy. So it makes me feel like you're just supposed to be stagnant at this time. Maybe so that you do focus on your bag. Maybe that's like not even like you. Like maybe you really do want to focus on love, but for some reason you literally just keep focusing on your career or like money or just bettering yourself in some kind of way. Maybe physically, like going to the gym, like maybe you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or something like that. Something about like yourself or like establishing something for yourself. Even if you're really like, it sounds weird, but it's like you're doing it, but like you're kind of doing it like a drone. Like you're not really present for it. You're just doing it just to do it. And it feels like maybe it's because spirit is kind of like, you need to do this right now. So they're kind of forcing it a little bit. And like, you're kind of just like, you're just doing it just to do it. Until you get to a point that it opens up another door. And then you can go that way. Which is quite interesting. It's really just like rejection is protection, is what it feels like. Like they're literally blocking it. Okay, we have ego. I let my pride get in the way of our connection and overwhelmed. The stress from this is draining me. Yeah, it seems like right now everything is just about yourself. I mean, I don't know. Some people look at ego as a bad thing. It can go both ways, obviously. I mean, in this sense of the card, yes, it's not the best. But I don't know, I feel like it's just kind of reiterating that, like, there's something, maybe, okay, maybe it is saying that you're, I don't know, it's just strange with the angel here. Because for some reason, I can't, another way that this could be is that your idea is that if you focus on yourself and you're patient enough, other opportunities will come. Because you're just too overwhelmed to like put yourself out there in like a specific way. So your way of doing it is by focusing on yourself. But if you're not putting yourself out into the world in certain ways, I'm not saying just go on a date with a random person that you really have no type of connection with. Not the vibe, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But it's also like, if you don't at least create a door possibility, if you're in the house all the time and you just go to work and you come home, you're not gonna find love, babes. Like, it is what it is. If you're not doing something, even just going out to eat by yourself, it's like, okay, you're doing it for you because you're hungry and maybe there's a restaurant that you want to try, but like, you could sit at the bar if you're able to drink. You could sit at the bar, people will come up to you and talk to you, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to like do something of that sense, like in that sense, which might be annoying to you. It might be very overwhelming to do that, but it's also like, you have to decide, because I really do feel like you just have a confused energy right now. And I feel like at some point you have to decide, okay, am I going to keep doing this that I'm doing and it's obviously not working? Or am I going to try something else? It's fine to be patient, but I feel like you've been patient enough. Like, I feel like you keep being patient. And if you do feel like outside, like if you really do feel like you keep having these weird experiences where you're like, okay, I feel like the universe doesn't want me to, not doesn't, because the universe doesn't want or not want you to do anything. It's just existing, and like, you just exist with it. We are it, whatever you believe. But like, if you really feel like, okay, like I do feel as though I just am supposed to be patient right now and not really focus on it, then continue on, babes. But for some of y'all, it's more of like, you're so focused on yourself that you're not even trying in love. So, or maybe you were getting those signs before that were like, oh, be patient, focus on yourself, etc. And then you did it for a long time, and now you're just in that same energy. And it's like, you don't have to be in that energy anymore. You like did the self part, but now you have to open and like walk through like other doors, opportunities. Because like, now they're there. They weren't there before because you had to focus on yourself, but you focused on yourself enough, and now it's time for you to like do something else. Yeah, we have justice. Like, you're balanced. You have to work with what you have. Like, you have to work with like the lessons and everything that you've experienced thus far up to this point. You have to work with what you have, babes. Like, I feel like you keep trying to make yourself a better version of yourself, but at this point in time, you are the best version of yourself that you can be, like right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's okay for you to like really try and love right now. Because at this point, you're just blocking yourself. Look at that. You have the World. Oh, you got a lot of cards. Okay, I gotta move these over. I try not to make them too messy, but I'm not taking reversals today. But yeah, I feel like with adjacent possibilities right here and then the world, I mean, you have, like, once again, the Fool's in the middle. And remember, the Fool's the first card, number 0. Like, starts out with nothing, knowing nothing, but after going through all the things that they go through, they now have each element under their belt. They know how to work with their intuition, with themselves, and be in flow with the universe as well. And now they can explore the world. And I feel like you did your self-help, you did your Fool's journey, and now you don't have to be patient anymore. Like, you can, like, move forward. You can explore the world of love. I think that you are just staying within yourself in this Emperor energy because it's easy. It's just easy. Like, it's easier for you to just do that than it is for you to actually explore, because it makes you overwhelmed. Because maybe you don't like dealing with people, or maybe you've just had bad experiences in relationships and stuff like that. So, like, you're kind of like, ugh, I don't want to do that. But at this point, it just seems like you think it's just easier to be alone. But it's like, is it really easier? It's like you tell yourself that you're winning because you're like, I'm alone, I'm at peace, whatever. But here you are struggling down here. I don't know if you can see, but like, he's holding this sword. It's like he took this sword from this guy, and he already has 4 swords behind him, like with him. And he took the one sword that this person has. Now this person's left defenseless. So it's like you're doing it to yourself. Like, you're literally like, okay, well, I get hurt in love situations, so I'm just not even gonna bother with them. But it's like a part of you really does want to try again, but you're like not letting that happen. You're not letting it happen, babe. But you should, if that's really what you want. Like, really take the time to think about it. Maybe meditate a little bit. If you're not a meditator, that's fine. I'm gonna pull some self-care cards. Maybe this will help you. Like, you can do meditation in, like, a different way, since you obviously love taking care of yourself, which is great. So, you know, maybe you just need to, maybe this will help ground you. Oh my God, sex came out. Like, you surprising yourself, yo. Like, do you want to have sex and you're like, just like, no, I refuse? Make a meal. Maybe you like to cook. And alone time. Of course you got alone time. I'm screaming. Okay. I feel like, first of all, you want this. Like, you want this. And it's interesting because there is another card that's basically talking about pleasuring yourself. And it didn't come out. So I feel like you want this because you want the intimacy with another person, but you're not allowing yourself. I do think that you still need a little bit of alone time to really figure out if you truly, truly are holding yourself back and why. Well, I mean, I'm kind of telling you why, but you know what I mean? Like, just digging deeper, because you know more information than I do. Obviously, I'm not you. You're a very complex person. I'm only looking at a few cards, so I'm not getting everything. But I think you still do need a little bit of alone time just to figure it out. Like, why you don't want to exit this self-secluded path that you're on. And also, I think that just cooking, you might really love to cook. Or you might just be a foodie. Maybe you just like to eat. And if going out to eat is like something that like makes you feel, remember I said that before, going out to eat by yourself, like maybe like that would be nice for you. Maybe it would just open a new door. Maybe for some reason you'll get like a spark, something. But it seems like you do want some intimacy in some kind of way, but you just think it's easier not to do it. But just think, is it really easier? Or are you just blocking yourself? So that's what I have for you, pile 1. I hope that you got something out of this. It's good to love yourself, and I'm glad that you do, but also don't be so wrapped up in yourself that you ignore other opportunities, other paths, okay? But yeah, remember, check out 716, 716 for your angel number, as well as 2442, because that's a mirror number. So you might have a message there as well. But if you're gonna stay for the second pile, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you probably back on TikTok. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe. If you did like this reading, I'm gonna be posting readings every week, starting like either next week or the week after. So stay tuned for that. And these will be free, obviously, because it's on YouTube. Yeah. And I'll see you soon, pile 1. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. I'm doing this on YouTube. I was gonna make an extended, but I had some technical difficulties with the TikTok, so I'm here on YouTube instead. I think the universe just wanted me to just get this message out, really, and make sure that the maximum amount of people that need to see this see it, because not everybody wants to pay, and that's totally fine. But hopefully you get something out of this reading, and I will be posting on my YouTube every week, starting either next week or the week after. So please subscribe, because you will get a bunch of free readings all the time. And it won't just be about love. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different things on here. TikTok is more for my love readings, but my YouTube will be everything. So we'll just get more in depth about other things. The first thing I want to do really quick is just roll your dice, just to get an angel number for you so that you can look it up, see any messages that you have there. What angel number is for pile 2? Ooh, I'm not going to use this dice because it fell. We have 412. So look up the number 412, angel number, and that is going to be your first message. I usually don't do that, but I felt called to do it today. And then I'm also just going to roll the zodiac dice just to confirm. Maybe you don't have to be whatever zodiac comes out, but maybe you're dealing with a zodiac, like another person already, or just confirmation that it's you. We have Libra. Okay. Interesting. So that's also air energy. Might be very in your head right now about it, which makes sense with the thinking man. So, okay, just to reiterate for pile 2, since it did cut off in the TikTok, I wasn't able to, I couldn't fix the audio, it was just silent. Basically, your pile is, the thing that's blocking you is yourself in a way, because you are such a good person and you really see the best in people, and people end up manipulating you, or you deal with very narcissistic people. With storm warning and deceit, I mean, to me it was just like you would see red flags and you would just not actually like see them and then be like, okay, we're not doing this, you know, like you would just ignore the red flags because you see the good in everyone. So you're like, okay, well, yeah, maybe they're just having a bad day, you know, they didn't mean to yell at me and make me feel shitty, but it was just today, you know, it's not gonna happen again. It was just the situation. Maybe you put the blame on yourself, even something. But there's things that people do to you that make you uncomfortable or you don't like, and you keep them around anyway. Why? I'm not really sure. It could be just because you don't want to be alone, or it could just be because you just truly don't think that people can be that shitty, which unfortunately we're in the real world, babes. people can indeed be terrible. So just keep that in mind. Don't assume that everybody is terrible. You know what I mean? But I mean, use your discernment. If they're showing you that they're not a good person, I mean, that's all the proof that you need. Because what else would convince you that somebody is not good? Or at least not good to you? What else would convince you? A book? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if they're literally not being nice to you, then that's them just not being nice to you. Take with that information what you will. Or do with that information what you will. And then we have the thinking man. So it just made me feel like you kind of maybe just deal with people that are super like manipulative. Like it's like there are kind of people that can read you and understand that you know, or like the way that you work. And so they're very like, they get in your head to make you think that you're being crazy or something like that. It's just overall, it was just giving narcissistic vibes. Like, I just think that you just deal with like terrible people, and that's not your fault because you don't know how they are. But once you see the red flags, it seems like you don't actually leave. So I think that is blocking you from having real love. Like something that you do. Now I just wanted to see what energies are blocking you, like outside energies that aren't yourself, that are blocking you from finding love. Oh, interesting. Oh boy. Okay. We have door to value, first chakra, Archangel Michael, and woman holding a coin. So maybe Archangel Michael is somebody that you work with, or maybe just in general, it's just saying that your root chakra, you're not grounded right now, and that is influencing you a bit, which makes a bit of sense. Because you might do certain things because you're not grounded in reality. If you are seeing that somebody is not treating you well and you continue to allow them to treat you terribly, maybe you're not grounded. Because if you were grounded, you would not allow that, right? You don't want people to be treating you terribly. We do have woman holding a coin and door to value here. So I also feel like maybe you just, for some reason, it's like people are telling you there's some kind of influence about money here. Maybe you focus on finding someone that has money. Because that's just what you do. But sometimes that's not going to determine if you actually love someone. You know what I mean? Because there are people that like date, like they only date people that have money, which I understand. In this day and age, you low-key need to be, not even low-key, if you live in America, at least, you need to be rich as hell to live probably the life that you want to live. So I understand. But at the same time, it's like if you want to find true love, like you're not going to find it in the back of a wallet, babes. Like that's just, it is what it is, you know. Your soulmate might not have a lot of money, but if you guys are going to be happy together, you know what I mean? Like it really depends on what you want. There is some kind of influence about money here. I see a black cat, so it's really representing like intuition. You might just want to be focused on money right now for some reason. Maybe you have to take care of your family, or maybe you have a child or something. So like you just need to focus on money at this time. But I don't know, for some reason, it just feels like you're not grounded in actual thoughts of love. Like maybe you stay with these narcissistic people because they provide you. Or not even provide you with money, but maybe they just provide for you in general. So you're kind of like, okay, well, yeah, they treat me like shit, but they pay for all my stuff. And it's like, okay, yeah, but being treated like shit isn't fun. You're in an emotional prison. So is it really worth it at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, you could make your own money. Or you could at least find somebody that makes a lot of money and is a good person. You know what I mean? You don't have to deal with shitty people just because they have money. That's not what we're doing here. Let's just pull a couple more cards just to see any other influences that are blocking you. Reciprocity. Oh, look at that. I want to have equal give and take. Interesting. Gossip. I'm afraid of what other people will think. Okay. Maybe you come from a rich family. This might be for some of y'all, not all. Maybe you come from a rich family, or you're just around people that just have a lot of money. So you feel as though you need to keep up with the Joneses here, you know? Because here I was saying that there is some kind of outside influence about money, and I wasn't really understanding what that is, but I don't know. I feel like with this, maybe you want to be an equal to the people around you that have money. And by doing that, it's like you need to find somebody that also has money. Especially if you come from money, I feel like I don't come from money, so I have no idea. This is based off of movies and pop culture that I've seen. But I feel like, for the most part, people that have money usually couple up with other people that have money to make sure that you keep that foundation, right? You know, especially if you're gonna have kids and stuff, you want your kids and stuff to be taken care of. Like, I understand that. And so maybe there's this pressure of you need to be with somebody that comes from money as well. And you don't want to disappoint your family or your friends or whatever. You don't want people to talk about you. Oh, they're with somebody that like doesn't make however much, you know? But I also feel like you kind of want this equality. Like, you kind of want, like, this kind of it says give and take here. Oh boy. It's very dicey. I'm going to pull one more. Neglected. I failed to give you what you need. Oh my God. What was I saying before? Like, they provide. I think that there's just a focus on somebody providing for you physically, aka with money, with things, gifts, a house, things like that. Like physical things, tangible things. But I think that you feel neglected emotionally. And maybe now at this point you think that you can't have both. You can find somebody that will provide for you physically, tangibly, as well as emotionally and spiritually. But you have to allow there to be an equality. You have to be more grounded as well. And they have to be more grounded. You both can't go in thinking, okay, well, I'm only here for the money. Like, you know what I mean? It has to be more real and more emotional than that, if you are going to have that. Because it seems like before you were not letting go of people because they did provide you tangibly. So you're kind of like, well, I'm not going to let them go because they provide me with what I need. But is it really what you need? Is it really what you need? Or are you just trying to appease this social idea? so that you don't get talked about and so you don't get shunned. I'm not saying leave your community for your relationship. That's not what's happening here. But also make sure that your values are the same for yourself. Like, make sure that your values are yours and not what everybody's telling you what they need to be. How can you move forward? Now knowing, now kind of having this idea. Cute. Look at that, 2 of Wands and the King of Wands. So basically, you're at a point where I feel like you have, especially now after hearing that, it's like, what are you going to do with that information? Because I feel like you know that you have been choosing people based on the wrong thing or things. Maybe it's not necessarily wealth. Maybe you choose people based on their physical appearance. Something about tangibility and not emotional, okay? You seem to choose based on what you see, right? But then when you see something bad, you are like, ooh, you ignore that. You only like to see the good, like physically see the good, right? And it's like, now that you know maybe that you do that, it's like, what path are you going to choose? Are you going to continue choosing the path that you've been choosing of, okay, I'm going to keep picking people based on this? Or are you going to choose somebody based on how they actually make you feel? Because it's going to be a big difference. It's going to be a big difference. And the other thing is, you can't allow, you have to make the decision yourself. Let's say you're in a love triangle. Let's say you meet 2 people. One of them is your perfect type on the outside. They have a lot of money, if money is what your thing is. They have a lot of money. They can provide for you. They look good. You think that they're physically very attractive, whatever, but you hate their personality. Like, or there's just like things that like you guys just really just don't get along with. You don't click, like, because I'm not saying that they're opposite, because I do think that opposites can attract for sure. But there's just things that like you genuinely just don't like about their actual personality, right? Or how they make you feel. And then there's another person that makes you feel amazing. They make you feel like a princess or a king, whatever. Like, you feel loved, you feel appreciated, whatever. But they don't have the most money ever. They're just like a regular person living their regular little lives like everybody else. And I mean, they could still look good, but maybe they're not your usual type, quote unquote, you know? Like, but you're kind of like, okay, well, you have these 2 options, and you're kind of just like, okay, I'll just let the universe decide. No. You cannot just not make a decision because you don't want to make the decision. You have to make the decision. Otherwise, everything else that's going on around you is going to affect your life. And then whatever path that you end up going on is not going to be your actual decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have your family telling you, oh, go on a date with this person, they're going to provide for you, blah, 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 they're a doctor or whatever the hell, right? And like, you're kind of not feeling it, and you would rather go out with this person, but everybody's forcing you to go out with this person. The universe is eventually, at some point, time is going to be where a decision needed to be made, and it's going to split. And if you kept leaning this way, you're going to split that way. That's just how it works. Like, at some point, the decision will be made for you. And I feel like you cannot, look, you leave yourself hanging. You cannot do that. You might be in that situation right now, or you might get into that situation. Remember this day, remember this reading, babes, because you need to make the decision for yourself, okay? If you still want to choose that way, that's fine. But you have to choose yourself. Don't just let it choose for you. Because then you're never going to get out of this loop. Look at that. Oh my God. The Two of Swords. You have so many twos. And just peep how many. You have 2 swords here. You have 2 pillars here. And then you have the 2 paths. So like, there's something about a decision that you are going to have to make. And I'm telling you right now, make sure that you actually make a decision. Because right now, I mean, because this Two of Swords energy, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be like, I don't know which way to go. What do I do? But you're going to have to make a decision. Please. Make a decision out of balance. That's what the King of Wands does. He takes all of the lessons that he's learned. His hair is long. Think of, if you've ever seen Avatar, the one with the blue people, like, you know how when he goes to all the other clans and he gets like their support, like he ends up having all of these different like braids in his hair and like different like accessories, I guess. I don't really know what they're called. And like different things that the clans give them to show like we're supporting you kind of thing, right? Like think of it like that. Like the King of Wands, like he takes his lessons with him. That's why his crown is so high. That's why his hair is so long. Because you can see that he is older, he's wiser, he's more connected to spirit and himself, but also he's grounded. Like, he doesn't just cut his hair off and pretend like he didn't experience those things. That hair growth represents something, at least to me. I don't know. So that's what I'm thinking of. Like, you have to take the things that you've experienced in the past and use that to help you move in the future, okay? Choose. Because I feel like up to this point, you have not been choosing for yourself. You've been choosing for other people. And you've been choosing for reasons that are not you. Let's just get some self-care. That might help you move forward in love. And then I think we're good. Energy work. Oh my God, what was I saying? Maybe your root chakra is blocked. With Archangel Michael here, you definitely need to do some chakra work. Maybe do some yoga. If you look up like root chakra yoga, just do that. If you like to meditate, but you need to get in tune with yourself. Okay, and then we have connect with fire. So maybe fire is a really good way for you to connect with yourself and the universe at this time. We also have sound healing in the back of the deck, and we have write a gratitude list. So I feel like right now you really just need to focus on your spiritual energy, because I think that you have been forgetting that you have a spirit, okay? Not to drag you, because it's not like that, but I just mean like you have to remember that you are an emotional being as well. There's a part of you that is not tangible, and I feel like you keep choosing things based on tangibility and not spiritual and emotional, right? So I think that right now, if you focus on that, that will help you when this decision comes, because I do feel like it's coming if it hasn't already. So please, please, please. That way, when the time comes, you actually do choose for yourself and not just for outside influences, okay? But thank you so much, Pile 2. This is what I have for you. I really hope that you got something out of that. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, I will be doing other readings on here. So yeah, but if not, I'll see you back on TikTok, and have a blessed day.